Last time I said that the next video that I was going to make was testing the Bushmeister at the range for accuracy with slugs when I got some. I have got some slugs. Federal Power Shock. And these are travelling at 1610, which is pretty fast, so shouldn't have any problem cycling them. I got, how many did I get? 20 of them. So I'll see how it goes. Slugs are really expensive, I'm not sure why. They're not that expensive. So that's, what did this cost me? 13 bucks for 5. So I'll see how they go. It'll be good to see if they didn't really, I don't think they had that many in stock, the one shop that I got them from. The shops don't seem to stock much in the way of rifled slugs. They're not really a thing here in Australia because they're mostly a thing in the United States because of certain deer hunting laws where you have to use shotgun slugs, which is a bit weird. Well, it's not, but yeah, it makes it harder. But yeah, slugs really aren't a thing, so they don't really stock that many. But I'm interested to see what the accuracy is going to be like out of a 20-inch smoothbore barrel in the Bushmeister. So I've got the ammo to do that. So hopefully next video I will present that. The other thing is that when I tested the ammo through the CZ457, what is it, the Lux? No, the Trainer, the CZ457 Trainer 22. The two best ammos were Illy Match and Federal Premium Hunter Match. Unfortunately, I can't get Hunter Match, but I was able to get Federal Premium High Velocity Match, and these are travelling at exactly the same velocity, so I'm assuming that hopefully they'll give similar results, so I'm going to test them through the CZ. I think the difference between these is that the Hunter Match is hollow point and the High Velocity Match, I believe, are just round points. Let's have a look. Yeah, they're not hollow. Okay, so these are more target oriented, but hopefully they achieve similar results. The Federal Premium High Velocity Match, because I don't really want to hunt with, although I have in the past, and successfully hunted rabbits with Illy Match, but that's pretty expensive, whereas this stuff is a fair bit cheaper, and yeah, hopefully it'll prove as accurate as the Hunter Match. Now, what have I got in front of me? Well, this is a new rifle. Now, normally I would celebrate with a beer, and I'm sweating again, but I'm not, because I don't know if you can notice from my voice, it's not my normal voice. I'm not drinking beer, I'm drinking iced coffee, because I'm still not well. What happened was, just after the last video, like a day later, yeah, I went to work, and I was at work for a couple of days at a mine site in the middle of nowhere, and in another state, pardon me, and I started feeling really crap, like really not well, and my job involves a fair bit of it's pretty labour intensive. It's hard work, like swinging a sledgehammer a lot of the time, throughout the day, not just now and then. Like, yeah, it's hard work. It really is. I'm not bullshitting. So anyway, I was like short of breath, and I'd puff out really quickly, like swinging the hammer, and I'd puff out really quickly, and then for a couple of days, I literally felt like I'd been run over by a bus. And then, like this, after the second day, when I felt like that night, I was saying to everyone, man, I don't know if I'm going to come to work. I feel so bad. And no one was mentioning COVID, but well, anyway, next morning I didn't go in. And so my supervisor got the medic around to check on me, and he tested me, and sure enough, I had COVID, which sort of explained why I was feeling so crap, and just, yeah, quite literally it felt like I'd been just, yeah, through the wars, beaten up, like I had the shit kicked out of me. So I was COVID positive. So all right, now what? Well, you got to isolate in your room for a week, and then you can fly out. It's like, great. Well, it wouldn't have been so bad, but number one, I didn't have phone coverage there because I'm with another provider, so I had no phone reception whatsoever. And to make things worse, that site has got no Wi-Fi, so I couldn't even get onto the internet to text or to email my employer, my supervisor, somebody to talk to about what was going on and then to get details for flights and things. I had nothing. I had to sort of wing it, and it was not good. Now I sort of know how people feel when they're in solitary confinement now. There was a TV in my room, and I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV for years. And I tell you what, I watched more TV in the week that I was in that room than I've watched in the last 10 years. So, and I know why I don't watch it, because it's shit. So that's why I've taken so long to, and also not answering people's questions on the YouTube channel, because I had nothing. Like, there was once, just before my supervisor flew out, I had a week to go. Then he hotspotted me, and I didn't really have much on the on the YouTube channel or anything, but obviously people have commented and that, and the reason I haven't answered, or haven't been answering, or haven't been able to get contacted is because I've been in COVID isolation with no phone coverage at all, no Wi-Fi, nothing. I still haven't recovered. I can operate, pretty well, but I can still feel it, I haven't, you can probably tell by my voice, I still haven't recovered. So anyone who thinks that COVID is some sort of conspiracy and it's not real, it's real, yeah. In actual fact, I just got told, because I just spoke to my coordinator, and she said that the day we got there, they had 30 people positive with COVID on that mine site. So they just flew them out en masse and had them isolate in the capital city of that state. I wish that had been me, because then I would have had Wi-Fi and phone coverage, and I would have been able to talk to people, but because I couldn't talk to anyone, not my employer, not the host, anyone there at the mine site, not my no one. I had no communication. So, but anyway, enough of that. So that's why I sound weird, and that's why I haven't been answering people's questions, because I haven't been able to. But anyway, so I'm going to celebrate by drinking some iced coffee. Oh, and for that whole week, no booze, no beer. I couldn't drink any. There was no beer at all. So and it didn't really. I mean, if it's not there, it's not there. I don't freak out. I don't get the DTs or anything. It doesn't bother me. But it would have been nice to have a beer now and then, but I couldn't. So anyway, enough of that. So celebratory drink of iced coffee for my new rifle, and it is a Diana Model 48 air rifle in 22 caliber. Now, there are air rifles and there are air rifles. You can buy really, really cheap air rifles. You can buy really, really expensive air rifles. I'm talking thousands and thousands, like the FXs and that. This is sort of, I guess you could say it's upper middle, I would say, because Diana is, I think they're also, I don't know what the actual relationship is with RWS, but RWS Diana, like in the United States, people know this also as RWS. I wasn't aware of that until I did a little bit of research on YouTube. But it's a Diana Model 48. There is a model 52. The only difference is that the 52 has got a checkered beechwood stock. And there is a 48 with a beechwood stock. This is, I'm not sure what this is. Well, actually, let me have a look. It's second hand. So I was at the shop and I said, look, you know, I haven't shot. I didn't own them. My brother owned them. When I was a kid, that's the last, like little kid, that's the last time that I had any involvement with an air rifle. So that's been a very, very, very long time. But I think to hunt rabbits in sort of like semi-urban areas, I think they're ideal because the report is, you know, they're not very loud. They're certainly not as loud as even the subsonic stuff. It's not as loud as that 22. Some of the really, really quiet stuff, yeah, it's really quiet. I'm sweating now. But that ammo is pretty anemic, so I don't use that for hunting. The slowest that I'll use is the target, subsonic target ammo, like Ely match. But anyway, we'll talk about this rifle. So let me have a look what the stock is made of. I think it's actually, I think it might be, I don't know whether it's plastic or painted wood. Because it's got, so I bought it second hand. The guy who sold to the shop was an elderly chap who was, I think he was being put into care or having to go into a nursing home, and he had to get rid of all his rifles because they wouldn't let him take them with him. Understandable. And they reckon that every rifle that he sold to them, his whole collection, they were all mint. And this is, except for this ding here, yeah, it's in perfect condition. Like, I mean, perfect. That's the only mark that's on it, and it looks like it hasn't even been used. So it's a Diana model 48. I think you're looking at about, around, with the heavier projectiles, you're probably looking at about 800 feet per second, maybe up to 1,000 with the light projectiles. One thing that this rifle has going for it is that it's not a brake barrel, so the barrel is fixed, it doesn't move. The actual cocking mechanism, it's a side cocker. So this lever here, that lever, I'm not going to cock it because once you've cocked it, like, you do not dry fire air rifles at springers. Like spring air rifles, don't dry fire them. You'll destroy the spring and the mechanism and everything. Yeah, it's very, very bad for it. So I'm not going to cock it, but essentially this, you just pull it sideways. That I've heard said, like, the tension is between the weight of the cocking is about between 25 and 30 pounds, which, yeah, no big deal. But I do prefer the side cocking. It's got iron sights, which are like metal, and the front sight looks like plastic. The triggers on these things are supposed to be superb, so because I'm not going to dry fire it, I'm not going to test the trigger. But the triggers are supposed to be really good, between about 2 and 3 pounds, which is pretty good for hunting. Now, I bought it as is, so it had this scope on it. It's a Basker 3 to 12 with the parallax adjustment on the front ocular. I mean, on the front bell, objective bell. They do come with a rail, a special rail, which is good. But so I bought it complete. It cost me $850, which is pretty good because they are not cheap air rifles. They are very, very high quality. Now, and it's in mint condition, except for that one little bit of damage to the stock. It's in mint condition. So So I won't go too far into the operation of the rifle because I can't dry fire it, and I'm not going to fire it in my house because it's illegal. Now, what I did do is that I got, and is that 2, 4, 5, and 2, 4, 6. So I've got 11 different ammos, 11 different projectiles, various weights. So I'm going to do a proper test, accuracy test. It should be pretty accurate. Dianas are renowned for being accurate because they are very high quality rifles. People do use it for, well, I don't know if they still do, but you can definitely use it. I'm sweating like a mongrel. For target shooting. But I'm going to use it for hunting rabbits. Now, one thing about it is that it is heavy, and I don't know if I'll be able to get my scales working, but it's heavy. Like, this is not a kid's rifle. Okay, a lot of air rifles seem to be kids' rifles. This is not. The buttstock is a little bit small, but yeah. I'm just going to go and see if I can get my scales to work. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, I'm back. So, 10 pounds. Now, I don't know how accurate that is, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was correct, because this thing is like really heavy. It is seriously and it's got heavy. No. So it is a wood stock. Yeah. I can see there the paint's not really well done there. So it is a wood stock that's painted black. Obviously beechwood, I would say. So this thing is really, really heavy, and there's no sling swivels on it, but since it's wood, I'll be able to drill some holes and put some sling swivels on it, because if I'm going to be hunting with this, yeah, I'm not going to be carrying it in my hands the whole time at all. But I'm really, really happy to have gotten it. I really did want to get a Diana 460 Magnum, which is it's actually got an under lever under the barrel, but I think what was this? They told me that the stock in Australia was -6, so there's 6 people that want one, and yeah, there's none. And the way things are, yeah, it's really, really hard to get stuff like that, especially out of Europe and that. But luckily this was there, and yeah, it was $850, but you know, it's worth every penny, because when you're talking about the, you know, Diana, they are not crap. They are a really, really good quality firearm. Technically not a firearm, but it's got a fully adjustable trigger, and you got 2 holes in the trigger guard where you can get in with a screwdriver and adjust, screwdriver or whatever, I think what's in there, to fully adjust the trigger. It is a 2-stage trigger. They are supposed to be fantastic, and from YouTube videos that I've seen, the guys testing the triggers, you're looking at between 2 and 3 pounds, or just over 3 pounds, some of them, which is pretty good. This basket scope, I don't know if I'll keep that on there. Might put something a bit simpler on there, something that doesn't have parallax adjustment, maybe a rimfire scope. I'll chuck a Leopold rimfire scope on there, so the parallax is pretty short on those things. What else can I say about it? Yeah, I was really happy to get it. The stock is a little bit short. It's a little bit small for me, for my taste. This basket scope is quite nice. Baskets aren't, you know, anything spectacular, but they're decent. They're decent. So I can't really say much more about it until I go to the range. Today's Wednesday, I think. Is it? I don't even know what day it is. Yeah, today's Wednesday, so I'll be going. To the range on Friday, hopefully, if it's open, and test. So I'll be testing the federal high velocity match, gold medal high velocity match through the CZ457 trainer. I'll be testing the federal PowerShock rifle slugs through the Bushmeister. make sure that it cycles them. Shouldn't be a problem because these must have a fair bit more powder to be going at 1600. And I'll be testing this 11 different ammos. So I've got 2 from BSA, I've got 3 from H&N Sport, I've got 3 from Gammo, I've got 1 from Stoger, and I've got 2 from what brand is this? Alcock and Pierce, which is an Australian company. Well, it's a gun store, but Alcock and Pierce are also imported distributors. So I don't know where these are made. Made in, where is it made? The EU for Alcock and Pierce. I don't know who makes them. The Alcock and Pierce's containers are really good because the lid doesn't come off. You actually rotate it, and you've got an aperture where the pellets fall out of, so that which is sort of good, although it's really easy to turn that, which is not good, because if it does turn, and when you don't want it to turn, they'll spill out one by one, whereas all the others are just pop-offs or screw top lids. Yeah, so next time you'll see me, again, I'll test the Federal Premium High Velocity Match through the C407, the Rifle Slugs through the Bushmeister, and these 11 different projectiles through the Diana Model 48. I can't wait to shoot it. I haven't shot a slug gun, like I said, since I was a kid. We call them, here in Australia, we call them slug guns. I know that in the United States you call them BB guns, but here in Australia we call them slug guns. And it's going to be really interesting to see how it performs. Man, I can't believe how heavy this thing is. It really is heavy. Probably one of the heaviest lead dispensers that I have. Yeah, so, and I'll be hunting rabbits with it, hopefully pretty soon, but not at the moment. I should be mowing my lawn, but I just still feel pretty crappy. So until then, see you later.